The 29-year wait is over. Today, the Hayes High Lady Indians start playing the first game of the 2025 5A State Basketball Championship against the 8-seeded St. Thomas Aquinas Saints out of the Eastern Kansas League. And with that, we welcome you into today's game from White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas, as part of the 5A State Basketball Championship, along with our entire Tribe Broadcasting Network crew. I'm Hank Corsair. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what it all comes down to. One of these teams will return here on Friday to try to turn their dreams of hoisting the state trophy into a reality, and the other will see their season come to an end today. And many people might see this game as the 1 seed versus the 8 seed matchup and think it won't be close, but this will be a very competitive game between two very good basketball teams. On one side, you have Hayes High coming into this matchup with 2 blowout wins over Great Bend and Hutchinson to get a new school record of 22 wins in a season to return to state for the first time since 1996. And on the other side, you have St. Thomas Aquinas making their 31st straight appearance in the state tournament, and they'll be looking for their 12th state title this year, and they'll also be looking to avoid back-to-back losses in the quarterfinals. So this is where dreams become reality in March, and the 2025 5A State Championship is starting off with a big matchup between the Hayes High Indians, who will look to keep their historical season alive, and the St. Thomas Aquinas Saints, who will look to continue their winning culture despite being the biggest underdog in this tournament. And we'll take a look at both teams and some of the other games here in Emporia when we come back. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Hello everyone, this is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians!
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here at White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas, as Hayes High gets set to take on St. Thomas Aquinas in the opening game of the 5A State Basketball Championship. And we're going to go to our team rundowns, but before we do that, we'll take a look at some of the other games happening here in Emporia today and tomorrow. Starting off on the girls' side, the winner of today's game will get Spring Hill or Maize South. Both teams enter that one at 19-3, and that's the game after this. Topeka Seaman at 22-0 will be the 2 seed, taking on the 7-seeded Piper, who enters that one 18-4. And rounding it out is 3-seeded Andover at 21-1, taking on a very tough St. James Academy team as the 6th seed. And the boys' games here in Emporia today include, for the 1 seed versus 8 seed matchup, Highland Park at 22-0, taking on the 8 seed Andover Central Jaguars. Winner of that game will face either Shawnee Heights or Piper. And the 2 seed, Cape and Mount Carmel, is 19-3, taking on Topeka West at the 7 seed. And rounding it out, the Andover boys are also the 3 seed at 19-3, taking on the 6 seed Bonner Springs, who enter that game at 18-4. Now we'll take a look at our team rundown, starting off with Hayes High. And we're going to take a look back at Hayes High's 2 sub-state games The Lady Indians started the postseason the same way they ended the regular season, by getting a blowout win over Great Bend, and this game was never close as Hayes High started the game on a 22-1 run through the first 4.5 minutes, and Hayes High eventually led 25-6 at the end of the first quarter. And although Great Bend was able to get their offense going a little bit in the second quarter, the Lady Indians never let up and took a 46-18 lead into the halftime break. And the Lady Indians also scored the first 8 points of the second half, which eventually led to a 65-27 lead and a running clock. And in the fourth quarter, the Lady Indians still outscored the Panthers 13-4 to win by a final score of 78-31. Then on Friday night, the Lady Indians faced the 8-seed Hutchinson Salthawks and got another blowout win to secure their spot in the state tournament today. But this was not an easy game as Hutchinson jumped out to an early lead, and it took Hayes High 3 minutes before they finally scored. But they were able to pick things up on both offense and defense and take an 8-4 lead after the first 8 minutes. And this trend on offense and defense continued into the second quarter as Katie Lindenberger scored the first 6 points of the quarter, and Hutchinson only scored 2 points in that quarter, which followed with a 13-0 Hayes High run to take a 27-6 lead at halftime. Then in the third quarter, Jenna Schmeidler and Molly Martin scored 21 of Hayes High's 22 points, and once again held the Salthawks to single-digit scoring in the quarter to get a 49-13 lead that would eventually lead to get another running clock in the fourth quarter, and Hayes High won 56-17 to break the 29-year drought. And in those games, Hayes High ran a very efficient offense and an aggressive defense that forced turnovers and didn't allow open looks. And that's also what they've done all season to get a program record 22 wins, so we'll see if that translates into the postseason tonight. And we'll look at St. Thomas Aquinas when we come back. We're going to take a break for the national anthem. We'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking in time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Back here in Emporia following the national anthem from the Hayes High Band, and we're now going to take a look at the Saints of St. Thomas Aquinas, who enter this game as the 8th seed at 15-7. And just like Hayes High, they're coming off of a very impressive showing at Substate where they outscored their two opponents by 100, beating Pittsburgh 63-9, and going on the road and upsetting Highland Park 78-32. And although on paper Hayes High has the advantage as the 1 seed against the 8 seed, the Saints are a very tough team with a lot of basketball history. For starters, this is their 31st consecutive appearance in the state championship, which is a KSHA record. And although this team has no seniors on the roster, they have experience being in this environment. The juniors for Aquinas were a part of the 2023 state championship team that was part of a 7-year streak of titles. And their sophomores made an appearance here in Emporia last year where they lost in the quarterfinals to eventual runner-up Maize South. And with that experience for Aquinas comes a lot of young talent, such as their two leading scorers, Alex Krause and Layla Boylan, who both have multiple Division I offers. And the coach for the Saints is one of the best in the business, Rick Hetzel, who was the head coach, who's been the head coach for all 11 of Aquinas' state titles, and he has over 500 career wins. It was named Sports in Kansas' 2023 Coach of the Year. So with this being their 31st straight appearance in the state tournament, and with a young, talented team going up against Hayes High, who has 5 seniors and players like Jenna Schmeidler and Morgan Armbruster that provide young talent, it makes for an interesting matchup to start the state tournament today. And we'll go to another break, but before we do that, we will take a look at our starting lineups for today's game. Starting off with St. Thomas Aquinas, they will go with number 3, Hudson Welsh, the 5'7" junior. The next two are their most notable players on their roster. Junior Alex Krause wearing number 10, second team Eastern Kansas League selection last season, who has 4 Division I offers and leads the team in scoring at 16.1 points per game. And sophomore Layla Boylan wearing number 11 is also averaging double-digit scoring, was an Eastern Kansas League honorable mention last season and has 8 Division I offers. Next up, they will go with the 5'10" sophomore wearing number 24, Sophia Kalovich. And rounding it out is number 33, Addison Sabers, the 6-foot sophomore. And for Hayes High, they will go with the same starting lineup they've gone with all season. Starting off with Jenna Schmeidler wearing number 3. Next up is the senior trio of Katie Lindenberger, Molly Martin, and Kenley Winter. And rounding it out is number 44, Zoe Winter. So that'll do it for the pregame show, and we'll have tip-off for you when we come back. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
As athletes, we couldn't play the sports we do without officials. Officials keep the game safe, fair, and fun. Our officials work hard in the off-season to be the best they can. The best way to thank them is to show them nothing but respect and gratitude during competition. As competition starts this year, please be aware of how you are treating officials in order to have the best outcome for your season and your officials. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
Back here in Emporia, Kansas, and we are about set to tip things off as Hayes High will be taking on the 15-7 St. Thomas Aquinas Saints. And before we tip things off, we will take a look at our uniform description, starting off with St. Thomas Aquinas. They are going with navy blue jerseys and or navy blue uniforms with white numbers and letters with a gold outline, and they also have a combination of gold and white stripes along the sides, and it reads Saints across the front. And Hayes High will go with their home attire, which is all white with maroon stripes on the side and maroon numbers and letters with a gold outline with an arched Indians across the front. It'll be Katie Lindenberger tipping against Addison Sabers, the 6-foot sophomore for the Saints. Hayes High will go from right to left, and the Saints will go from left to right. The ball will go up, and it will be tipped to the Saints, and they will start with the ball, and no time wasted as they'll throw it into the left wing and give it back out to Kalovich. Over now to the right wing now is Hudson Welsh. Pump fakes a few times and gives it over to Sabers. So Aquinas just working around the arc so far, trying to find the open look, and they'll get it back to Kalovich. And still working around that position. Now we're going to get a drive from Boylan against Martin. Lindenberger comes to the help side. The pass gets deflected, and it's recovered by Kalovich. And she saves it from going into the backcourt. And once again, there's no shot clock here for the playoffs. So the Saints have a lot of time to work with. It'll go back out to Boylan, trying to drive in against Molly Martin. She'll try the floater shot, and it's good. So Aquinas gets the first points of the game. Now Hayes High going out on offense with Molly Martin. She'll drive in all the way from the right wing against two defenders, misses it off the glass. Rebound is loose, and it will be a jump ball recovered by, it will be a jump ball with the arrow facing Hayes High. It'll be Jenna Schmeidler inbounding it for Hayes High on the right side of the basket. Hayes High in the box formation. They'll get some screens, and the ball will get deflected, and Schmeidler gets it back, and that's another jump ball with 7:07 remaining here in the first quarter. It'll go back to the Saints. So a little bit of some struggles for Hayes High early on, but this is their first time being in this game in 29 years, and for the Saints, they've had 31 straight appearances in this tournament, and we get a foul from Hayes High's Molly Martin after the pass went in. Hayes High trying to play some tight defense on a full court press, and the ref was there to make the call. Kalovich will inbound it. Zoe Winter in the backcourt trying to defend her, and the pass goes into Boylan. Saints have numbers at the other end of the floor, and as Alex Krause goes into the paint, she'll travel with it, and Hayes High gets it back as we're still in the first minute of this game. Both teams having turnovers so far. Molly Martin walking up the floor. And guarding her is Layla Boylan. She'll now drive in, stop at the free throw line, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul call on Addison Sabers. A lot of Aquinas fans thought that Martin traveled with it on the right side of the free throw line. But it'll be the first foul of the game called on the Saints. Hayes High going back to that same inbound formation on the right side of the basket. It goes into Martin on the right wing. Dashes it over to Jenna Schmeidler. Pump takes the three, drives in, tries the floater. It's on the way, and it takes a bounce off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Zoe Winter, and it's blocked by Kalovich. Hayes High 0 for 3 from the field to start this game. Now we're going to get a drive into the paint for Layla Boylan. She loses the ball, and they'll say it was last touch by the Saints. Hayes High trying to limit the Saints scoring early on. This has been Hayes High's key all season by forcing turnovers. They forced 23.6 per game which is 519 on the season coming into tonight's game. We're through a minute 30 of the first quarter. St. Thomas Aquinas in front of Hayes High 2-0, and we're going to get a steal, although it's deflected. Jenna Schmeidler able to recover it, and she's fouled as she gets it in the backcourt. Alex Krause tried to make a dive for it, and they'll get her with the push foul because of it. It'll be inbounded on Hayes High's end of the floor from Molly Martin on the right elbow, which is on the far side. Martin will give it in the backcourt to Schmeidler. She'll walk it up the floor, being guarded by Krause. Throws cross court. Molly Martin, right wing three on the way, is no good. And the rebound loose, recovered by Zoe Winter. And now she'll drive in and be fouled as she got into the paint. We'll see who they get this on. It'll be on number 24, Sophia Kalovich. They'll say that this one was on the floor, though, so Hayes High going back to the formation, or this time they'll line up 4 across the baseline. Gets lobbed into Zoe Winter, who gives it right away to Molly Martin. She'll take some steps up, tries a long pull-up 3, and it takes a bounce off the backboard, then out and rebounded by Kalovich. Hayes High 0 for 5 from the field to start this game. And the Saints just working around the arc, looking for the open look. With it now is Saber. She'll drive in, get double-teamed by Lindenberger and Winter. And it goes loose, and it's rebounded by the Saints. Saber's got the rebound, and we're going to get a foul call on Hayes High as the shot went up. Or correction, they're going to say this is a push foul against the Saints. It'll go against number 10, Alex Krause. 4 fouls for St. Thomas Aquinas to start this game, and there's only 5:47 remaining here in the first quarter. And they'll make some substitutions as Alex Krause will come out of the game, and they'll bring in the 5'4" freshman Ainsley Cook for the first time tonight. Krause will exit with 2 fouls, and Hayes High going back on offense, still in search of their first points. They got off to a slow start on offense in the sub-state championship against Hutchinson. We'll see if they open it up right here. Jenna Schmeidler goes in and kicks it out to Riley Dreher. Running around the arc, she'll stop, loses the ball, and it's stolen by Ainsley Cook. And at the other end, it'll be a layup for the Saints. And Layla Boylan gets it to go. She has all 4 of Aquinas' points so far. Schmeidler with it on the left wing. Gives it back out to Buckles and then over to Dreher on the right wing. She'll take one dribble, get a bounce pass into Lindenberger, trying to back down her defender, spinning her way to the basket. It's off the backboard. It takes a couple bounces and finally goes in. And we're going to get a whistle and an injury on the floor as Addison Sabers. She was guarding Lindenberger, and as Lindenberger spun her way to the basket, she fell to the floor. Looks like an injury to the leg. She was holding onto her right knee at the start of that. But she's able to walk out the floor limping a little bit. But Hayes High's got their first points of the game as Lindenberger able to get the layup in on the right block. Kalovich will inbound. Hayes High going back to the full court press, and this will go into Hudson Welsh. Pass goes over to Layla Boylan now. She'll go across court. Katie Lindenberger there on the defense. She's driving all the way to the basket. We're going to get a whistle and a blocking foul against Lindenberger. Hudson Welsh made a straight shot for the basket. Lindenberger bumped her a little bit as she went back to the left side. And now Hudson Welsh will go to the free throw line. Or correction, this will actually be Layla Boylan going to the free throw line. And she gets the first free throw to go. Layla Boylan, all 5 of the Saints' points have come from her so far tonight. And the second free throw is good as well. The Saints will also make a substitution. Hudson Welsh will come out of the game. In her place will be another freshman for the Saints, number 31, Reagan Novacek. Now Hayes back on offense. Jenna Schmeidler driving in, comes back out to the top of the arc, looking, waiting for the offense to set up. 4:50 remaining here in the first quarter. She'll get a bounce pass over to Molly Martin that got tipped. Now she'll drive off the left baseline, kick it out, and the ball loose, recovered by Molly Buckles into the right corner for Dreher. Pump fakes a few times, now we'll drive in, kick it back out. Jenna Schmeidler, top of the arc, three-pointer on the way. Takes a bounce off the front of the rim, and it's rebounded by the Saints, but it's going to be a travel. The rebound was recovered by number 34, Nora Goodnow, the team leader in rebounds. Lost her balance a little bit and then fell to the floor. And Hayes High getting the ball back, and we're going to get a timeout. And the ref just asked a question to Nora Goodnow. who is guarding Katie Limburger, and Limburger is actually being double teamed by Novacek and Good now as Hayside's in the box formation. Jenna Schmeidler looking for the inbound, lobs it into Molly Buckles behind the three-point line, and then Schmeidler gets the pass back out to the left wing now as Martin takes some steps back, now driving in on a double team, stops on the left baseline, out to Buckles, and now Schmeidler will take it long, college range three on the way, takes a bounce off the back iron, and the glass is cleaned by number 11, Layla Boylan. Hayes High just 1 for 8 from the field to start this game and 0 for 4 from three-point range. And Hayes High gets the rebound at the other end as the layup was missed by the Saints. Jenna Schmeidler will take it now left wing, driving in, comes back out, gets it into Lindenberger, spinning around her defender again, looking for the open look, and the shot is blocked by Nora Good now, who also has the rebound, and it will go out of bounds, and it'll be Saints ball. We'll see some substitutions for Hayes High. Molly Martin and Katie Limburger will come out of the game. In their place will be Kenley Winter and Zoe Winter, who are back in. Layla Boylan bringing up the floor, rushing to the other end, gets it stolen, and then it's poked free. Zoe Winter was the one that got the steal, and at the other end, Hayes High misses the layup, and it's saved from going out of bounds, but they're going to say Molly Buckles had a foot out of bounds when she touched it. Now the refs having a discussion on the other end of the floor to determine who it was last touched by. Molly Buckles had a foot out of bounds when she saved it from going out. And they will say it is Hayes High ball. Not sure what the argument was that time, but Hayes High will get it back. This time they're working on the left side of the basket. Hudson Welsh just returned into the game for Layla Boylan. And the pass will go into Riley Dreher in the left corner. She'll try the three-pointer, and it's an air ball as it overshoots the basket. And the rebound is by Sophia Kalovich. At the other end now, Novacek. She'll kick it back out to Welsh. She'll drive in at the free throw line, go past two defenders, loses the ball. It's deflected back out, and the Saints get it back. They'll save it. Kalovich with it, gives it back out, and now they'll reset the offense with Reagan Novacek. Jenna Schmeidler fell to the floor, and now back out to the passes. Sophia Kalovich. She'll drive in from the left wing. Kicks it out to Welsh. She'll drive in, gets two defenders, and the layup rattles out, no good. Rebound goes to Nora Good now. And a three-pointer on the way is no good. The Saints get the miss, and the shot, or in the putback, is no good, but a foul is called against Hayes High. They'll call the foul on Ainsley, or they'll get the foul on Kenley Winter, and the free throws will come from Ainsley Cook. The freshman will attempt the first one, and it's good. We'll see some substitutions. Molly Martin will go back into the game for Hayes High. Reagan Novacek checks out for the Saints. And we'll also see Addison Sabers, one of the other starters, return as well for another starter, Sophia Kalovich. 7-2 is the Aquinas lead with 3:03 remaining here in the first quarter. And Ainsley Cook will get ready for a second free throw, and this one's good. Hayes High looking for something on offense. Jenna Schmeidler kicks into the right wing for Kenley Winter. Now she'll drive, get a bounce pass into Zoe Winter, then she loses the ball, and it's stolen by Addison Sabers for the Saints. They'll go to the other end. Driving all the way to the basket is Layla Boylan, but she will travel with it as she went into the paint. Had to take an extra step to get to the basket, and she'll be called for it. Hayes High will make a substitution as Katie Lindbergh will go back in for Molly Buckles. Exits with 2 rebounds so far in tonight's game. Jenna Schmeidler will walk towards the right wing. Now we'll drive in from the top of the arc, kick it back out to Kenley Winter on the left wing, into Lindenberger spinning around. And we're going to get a whistle and a travel against Hayes High. And we'll see some substitutions for the Saints. Sophia Kalovich will be back into the game. And Hayes High making a substitution as well. They'll bring Annie Humphrey into the game for the first time tonight. Hayes High struggling so far. 4 turnovers in the game. And Hayes High is only 1 for 11 from the field so far. Layla Boylan gets the pass from Addison Sabers, and she'll walk past midcourt. Now she'll try driving in. She'll stop as Katie Lindbergh comes in from the right free throw line extended. Goes back out to Boylan. Now she'll drive. Zoe Winter comes in on the defense. Spinning around. Stops. Gives it back out to Ainsley Cook. And the Saints showing good ball movement. Boylan gives it into the left corner for Ainsley Cook. And the pass gets deflected by Jenna Schmeidler. Hudson Welsh was the intended target, but they're going to say it was last touch by Hayes High. So the Saints will inbound it from the left corner. And the pass will go into Layla Boylan. She'll wait for the offense to set up. Molly Martin playing defense on her. She'll run past her on the left side, driving in, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul call against Hayes High. This will be against Molly Martin. And that'll be the 14th foul for Hayes High in this first quarter. Riley Dreher will now go back into the game as Martin exits with 2 fouls. So the Saints will inbound it with 3 in the paint, and one player out on the left wing is Layla Boylan. The pass will go into Sophia Kalovich, being guarded by Zoe Winter. She'll kick it back out. Now Hudson Welsh driving in, spinning around defenders. Kicks it back out. Now Kalovich driving in, pass on a double team, and the layup is good. Into the left corner now is Andy Humphrey. She'll throw it back out to Zoe Winter. Winter takes one dribble in and gives it back out to Riley Dreher. Into the paint now. Lindenberger spinning around defenders, kicks it back out to Dreher. She'll drive in on the right baseline. Back out to Zoe Winter. She'll try a right wing 3. It's on the way, and it's good. Hayes High's first three-pointer of the game on 6 attempts, and it's a 5-10 game. Hayes High student section getting loud now. Sophia Kalovich with it. Gives it over to Ainsley Cook. Guarded by Annie Humphrey. She'll throw it back out to Addison Sabers. Lindenberger will be on the defense, and Zoe Winter comes in to help. She loses the ball, and we're going to get a travel call against the Saints. With 57 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, Hayes High going back on offense. That's now the 6th turnover for the Saints in this game. Hayes High can make it a 1-possession game on this possession. Schmeidler gets a bounce pass over to Riley Dreher, then it goes right between her legs, and it's another turnover for Hayes High. Dreher was standing on the right wing, but the ball was thrown a little bit too low, and she lost it out of bounds. And another substitution for Hayes High as Molly Buckles will go back in for Katie Lindenberger. Or good now will be it'll be Sophia Kalovich inbounding it now. And Layla Boylan will bring it up the floor. Jenna Schmeidler will be the one guarding her. On the floor for Hayes High is Jenna Schmeidler, Annie Humphrey, Riley Dreher, Molly Buckles, and Zoe Winter. Boylan will try driving in and will stop as she gives it over to Kalovich. With it now is Ainsley Cook. Takes a couple dribbles, then kicks it over into the right wing for Kalovich. Layla Boylan with it now. Stops and goes back out. 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Guarded by Schmeidler. Tight defense here for Hayes High. 13 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Boylan with it. Driving in. And she'll get a pass into the paint. Hayes High fans wanting a 5-second violation. And the pass goes over to Nora Goodnow. And it'll be rebounded by Riley Dreher. With 2 seconds remaining, Jenna Schmeidler, three-pointer on the way, and takes a bounce off the front of the rim. It's no good. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter, where the Saints take a 10-5 lead, and we'll have the second quarter when we come back. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete, whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here at White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas, as Hayes High trails St. Thomas Aquinas 10-5. And when we start the second quarter, as Hayes High will have the ball going from right to left. It'll be Jenna Schmiler bringing up the floor. Gives it over to Zoe Winter on the left wing. Throws it back out to Lindenberger at the top of the arc. She pump faked a few times. Now will drive in and kick it over to Kenley Winter. Looking around. Hasn't dribbled yet. Now will. Lost it as it got poked free by Ainsley Cook. Hayes High trying to set up their offense. Martin drives in. Into the right corner now is Kenley Winter. She stopped it. She thought she went out of bounds, and now she'll drive in, pass two defenders, and it'll go off her foot, and it will go back to St. Thomas Aquinas. Hayes High having some struggles on offense so far in this game. That's now their 6th turnover of the game, and they only went 2 for 13 from the field in that first quarter. Layla Boylan bringing up the floor. Stops as she just got across midcourt with Jenna Schmiler on the defense, and Hudson Welsh will take it and give it to the free throw line for Nora Goodnow. Boylan driving in, comes back out, and it will go back over to Sophia Kalovich, and Ainsley Cook with it now. Into the left wing, over to Kalovich now again. Gets double teamed and kicks it back out. Ainsley Cook jumper on the way, takes a bounce off the back iron, and Kenley Winter has her first rebound of the night. Winter will be the one that brings out the floor and will stop, and she got to the left wing. Cross-court pass over to Molly Martin. Now Jenna Schmiler takes it. Back out to Molly Martin. Right wing three on the way. Nylon! Jenna Schmiler gets the assist, and Molly Martin hits her first three-pointer of the game. Nora Goodnow with it from the free throw line extended. Guarded by Katie Lindberger. She'll give it back out to Layla Boylan. And Goodnow gets it back, looking for someone to pass it to. Zoe Winter comes out with a steal, able to deflect the pass right into her hands. Jenna Schmiler with it now on the left wing. Goes cross court and over to Molly Martin. She'll drive all the way to the basket, pass it over to Katie Lindberger, has the shot blocked, but it's going to be a foul call against the Saints. Lindenberger got hit on the arm as she tried the layup from the right block. This will be against number 34, Nora Goodnow, for the first team foul of the second quarter. Now Lindenberger will attempt the first free throws of the night for Hayes High. Hayes High as a team shoots 68% from the free throw line, and Lindenberger is a 63.5% free throw shooter, and she gets the first one to go. Aquinas made some substitutions. We'll give you an update in a moment of who's on the floor for them. But Lindenberger will get set for the second free throw. She puts it up, and it takes a couple bounces, rolls out, but Zoe Winter right there for the rebound, can't get it to go, and Kalovich will be the one that comes back down with the rebound. Layla Boylan stops as she was going into the paint and then goes back out, tries the layup, and Katie Lindberger had the rebound, but there's going to be a foul call, or correction, there's going to be a jump ball and it will stay with the Saints. So we're going to see a substitution for Hayes High as Kenley Winter comes out of the game and Riley Dreher returns. On the floor for the Saints is Ainsley Cook, Layla Boylan, as well as Sophia Kalovich, Addison Sabers, and also Reagan Novacek. They'll inbound it from the right side of the basket. It will go into Sabers. Katie Lindberger playing tight defense. Sabers looking around for someone to pass it to, and it's stolen by Jenna Schmiler. The pass went right to her. She'll go to the other end, 2-on-1. Bounce pass over to Molly Martin, and the layup is good. And Hayes High leads 11-10 with 5:47 to go in the second quarter, and the maroon and gold in this building has come alive. And we'll take a timeout and have the rest of the second quarter when we come back. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here at White Auditorium with 5:47 remaining here in the second quarter, as Hayes High just took their first lead of the game as they lead St. Thomas Aquinas 11-10. And the Saints will go back on offense as the pass goes into Reagan Novacek, and she gives it right away over to Kalovich. Hayes High with the full court press will back off as Boylan brings it up the floor, being guarded by Schmeidler. Two young, talented sophomores getting some college attention. And Boylan will drive in, and we're going to get a 5-second call against the Saints. I believe they're going to get this one against number 24, Sophia Kalovich. Hayes High was asking for it earlier and didn't get it, and they force another turnover. And we're going to see another substitution for Hayes High. They'll have Molly Martin in the game. And Riley Dreer will come out. Riley Dreer will come out of the game, and Kinley Winter will be the one inbounding it. Jenna Schmiler walking up the floor, guarded by Ainsley Cook. Kicks it over. Molly Martin, left wing three on the way, takes a bounce off the iron, and it's loose. And we'll see who it's off against. It'll be Hayes High ball. Addison Sabers got the rebound, and then as she was going out, threw it off of Zoe Winter, who was on the floor on the right baseline. But it will stay with Hayes High. Pass goes into Molly Martin. She'll drive in all the way from the top of the arc. Left-handed layup against two defenders is no good. And it was rebounded by Katie Lindberger, but it's going to be a foul against the Saints. And the refs had to break something up for a second. Addison Sabers was next to Katie Lindberger. She almost fell to the floor. And we're going to see some substitutions now. Nora Goodnow returns into the game for Addison Sabers, who's just called for a second foul. And that's 2 fouls against the Saints in the second quarter. Riley Dreher will have a timeout for a second as the ref having a conversation with number 34, Nora Goodnow for the Saints. But now Hayes High inbounding it with the box formation. Goes into Zoe Winter from the right side of the free throw line. Kicks it back out. Jenna Schmiler pump fakes the three-pointer from the right wing. Asks for a screen from Zoe Winter. Gets it. She'll drive all the way to the basket. Past three defenders. The layup no good. And rebounded by the Saints. Sophia Kalovich got the rebound, and there's going to be a foul call against Hayes High. The players weren't going back, and this one will go against Zoe Winter. That'll be Hayes High's first foul this second quarter, and it's Winter's first of the night. Layla Boylan will come out of the game now for the Saints. So Hayes High going back to full court press as Kalovich throws it in to Alex Krause. And as Ainsley Cook gets it, Hayes High backs off. She'll cross midcourt. And will walk it up as Kinley Winter will be the one guarding her. She'll pump fake a few times. And Zoe Winter got her hands in there, almost stole it. A lot of Hayes High fans thought there should be a jump ball, but that's going to be Winter's second foul. And Hayes High will make a substitution for Zoe Winter. She'll come out of the game, and Molly Buckles will return. Saints will inbound it from the right side of the basket. It will go in from Ainsley Cook to Alex Krause. Correction, it will go to Sophia Kalovich. And now Krause driving in, kicks it over to Kalovich in the paint. She takes one dribble, kicks it back out to Ainsley Cook. Saints showing good ball movement. Then Jenna Schmiler deflects it for the steal. She'll go on a fast break to the other end, and the layup with the right hand is good. Second steal of the night for Jenna Schmiler, and she has her first points of the game. After Hayes High was down 10-2, they are now on an 11-0 run. Ainsley Cook gives it in to Sophia Kalovich. Standing at the top of the arc, gives it over to Alex Krause on the left wing, fakes one way, and will drive into the basket, gets double teamed, and it's another foul call against Hayes High. 2 free throws coming up for the Saints, and we'll see who they get this on. It'll be Riley Dreher called for it. The third team foul this second quarter for Hayes High, with 4:16 remaining in the second quarter. Going to the free throw line is Alex Krause. The second team Eastern Kansas League selection and all 5A selection will get the first free throw to go. Saints a perfect 5 for 5 at the free throw line here so far. Hayes High student section hitting the bleachers, trying to make some noise as Krause attempts the second free throw, and this one swirls out, and it's rebounded by Katie Lindenberger. Jenna Schmiler with it. Goes to the top of the arc, kicks it over to Molly Buckles on the left wing. Back over to Schmiler. Now we'll go to the right, bounce pass in the paint for Lindenberger, spinning to the basket, and we're going to get a travel call against Lindenberger as she got double teamed. The ball went up into the air, and they'll say she took some steps as she was fighting her way to the basket. And it looks like Layla Boylan will return into the game for the Saints. They'll bring out Ainsley Cook. And we'll also see Molly Martin return to the game in place of Riley Dreher. Hayes High still showing that full court press as we're about to get the inbound from Sophia Kalovich. Guarded by Buckles, she'll throw it into Layla Boylan, and Hayes High will back off right away from the press. Jenna Schmeiler will stay back and guard Boylan. Standing in the midcourt circle, she'll give it over to Novacek. Now with his Kalovich, she'll stop and kick it back out. As with it now is Alex Kraus. Goes to the top of the arc, drives in, gets triple teamed, and will try the jump shot that's no good. And she'll get her own miss as she throws it back out, and Kenley Winter gets the steal as the Saints tried to save it from going out of bounds. At the other end, Winter with it now, back out. Martin, three-pointer on the way. Nylon! 16-11 is the Hayes High lead with 3:24 remaining in the second quarter. And at the other end now, we're going to get a foul call against Hayes High as the Saints were under the basket. We'll see who this one goes against as we get the call from the official. This will be against Katie Lundenberger, and that'll be her second foul. So Layla Boylan will go to the free throw line. She's the leading scorer for the Saints so far in today's game, and she misses the free throw. We'll see a substitution for the Saints. They'll bring Nora Good now back into the game as we get the second free throw from Layla Boylan, and that one's good. 7 points so far for him for her in this game. Jenna Schmeiler gives it over to Molly Buckles. Now with it now is Kenley Winter in the left wing. Pump fakes one pass and now over to Martin. Schmeiler will take it. Pump fakes the three-pointer, drives in, stops, and over to Martin at the free throw line, or correction, to Buckles at the free throw line. And as the pass went over to Kate Lindenberger, it's a foul call against the Saints. This will be against Hudson Welsh. And we're going to get a whistle and a timeout called by Hayes High with 2:59 remaining in the second quarter as they lead the Saints 16-12. It was a slow start to this game for Hayes High, but they've picked things up here in the second quarter. Aquinas, they jumped out to the 4-0 lead, but Hayes High had their first 2 points of the game come from Katie Lindenberger, and then the Saints followed with a 6-0 run. And when Hayes High ended the first quarter with a three-pointer from Zoe Winter, that led to a little spark as they would score the next 8 points after that to take their first lead of the game at 13-10. And now we get to this point where it's a 16-12 Hayes High lead with 2:59 remaining in the second quarter. We'll wait for the two teams to return to action, and now an update of who's on the floor for Hayes High. They will go with all their starters except Molly Buckles is in for Zoe Winter. And along with that, it's Jenna Schmeiler, Kenley Winter, Molly Martin, and Katie Lindenberger. For the Saints on the floor is Addison Sabers as well as Sophia Kalovich. And then Reagan Novacek is into the game as well, along with Layla Boylan. And Hayes High will go in now as Molly Martin will take it off a pass from Molly Buckles, spinning around, will try the shot, and it's no good as she faded away from the basket in the paint. But she was fouled, and we'll see who this will go against. It'll be number 3, Hudson Welsh. That'll be her first foul of the game. And Molly Martin, who has shot 69% from the line this season, will go to the line, and she gets the free throw to go. Aquinas will make a substitution as Hudson Welsh checks out of the game, and Alex Kraus returns. And we got a whistle from the official. They might have given the head coach for the Saints, Rick Hetzel, a warning as he said something to the official and then immediately sat down. But Martin's second free throw is good, and she's the first player for both teams in double figures. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul call against Hayes High after the pass went in. This one will be against Jenna Schmeidler. And that's Hayes High's 15th foul, so the Saints will go to the free throw line. They've shot in 4 free throws so far in each of the quarters. That'll be Jenna Schmeidler's first personal foul of the game, but going to the free throw line is Layla Boylan. She'll attempt the first free throw, and this one takes a bounce off the back iron. Feels like ever since the Hayes High student section has started hitting their hands on the metal bleachers, that's where the Saints have kind of gone ice cold from the free throw line since then. Layla Boylan will get ready to attempt the second free throw to make it a 5-point game, and this one's good. Layla Boylan with 8 points so far. And with it now is Jenna Schmeidler. She'll throw it in to Molly Buckles at the free throw line. Tight defense, looking for someone to pass to. She'll give it over to Schmeidler on the left wing. Driving in, stops at the free throw line. Fadeaway shot on the way. Takes a bounce off the front of the rim, and it's rebounded by Addison Sabers. And at the other end, they tried a full court pass to Sophia Kalovich, who was open under the basket, out racing her defender, and then it got thrown out of bounds. So Hayes High going back on offense with 2:26 remaining here in the second quarter. 18-13 is their lead. Jenna Schmeidler will stop at the top of the arc, kick it over to Kinley Winter on the left wing. She pump fake the pass, now will drive in. Schmeidler gets it back in the left corner. She'll call for a screen and doesn't use it. Drives into the paint and will get fouled on the way up. I believe they're going to get this on number 3, Hudson Welsh. And that is exactly who it will be against. That's her second personal foul now. And now both teams in the bonus as Jenna Schmeidler will attempt the free throw, and it's good. Hayes High 4 for 5 at the line so far after not attempting a free throw in the first quarter. And Jenna Schmeidler's second free throw is good as well. With it now, Sophia Kalovich for the Saints gives it over to Krause on the left wing. She'll drive in and stop at the free throw line. Gets double teamed, passing through defenders, and the rebound is loose. And Jenna Schmeidler comes out with it. It was originally recovered by a Saint, but then they lost it. And Schmeidler was the one that came out with it in the end. She'll be the one that leads the offense at the other end of the floor. Calling for a screen. She gets it from Katie Lindenberger on the right side. And then off the pick and roll, Lindenberger to the basket, loses it, and will try the layup, and it's no good. Molly Buckles chases down the rebound. And Jenna Schmeidler, three-pointer on the way, takes a bounce off the rim and then the backboard. And it's going to be a foul call against the Saints. They're going to say that they pushed a Hayes High player as there was a loose ball. So they'll get the foul on Sophia Kalovich, and Hayes High will go back to the free throw line for Molly Buckles, who is a 76% free throw shooter, and she misses the first one. Annie Humphrey will be back in the game now for Hayes High, and for the Saints, they'll make a substitution of Reagan Novacek back in for Layla Boylan. Or correction, Layla Boylan will go in for Reagan Novacek. And Buckles' second free throw is good. We're going to get a drive now from the Saints as Boylan went in from the right wing to the basket. And there'll be a foul call against Hayes High. This will be against Riley Dreher. That'll be her second personal foul, and Hayes High, or the Saints will now go back to the free throw line. Saints will attempt the free throw. This one's up, and it's good for Layla Boylan. 21-14 is the Hayes High lead with 1:23 remaining in the second quarter. And Layla Boylan will get set to attempt her second free throw. This one will put her in double figures, and it bounces around and goes in. Schmeidler will bring it up the floor and stop at the top of the arc. Takes it over to Kinley Winter on the right wing. She'll drive in, stop at the free throw line, spinning around, gives it back out to Annie Humphrey. Now she'll drive in, stop in the paint, spinning back out, gives it back out to Schmeidler. And she'll drive to the basket past two defenders, misses the layup, and it's rebounded by Sophia Kalovich. That's her sixth of the night. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul call against Annie Humphrey as Layla Boylan got the pass. She tripped her. And that'll be another foul call against Hayes High. Layla Boylan going back to the free throw line. 10 points so far for her in this game. And the first free throw is up and good. She has scored 4 of the 5 points so far, or correction, 5 of the 6 points so far for the Saints in this quarter. Make it 6 for 7 as she gets another free throw to go. Boylan now matches her average of 12 points per game. And with 58 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, Hayes High back on offense, working with a 4-point lead as Jenna Schmeiler takes it, going towards the right wing, then comes back out. Waiting for the offense to set up. She keeps faking like she's going to drive in and then comes right back out. Yes, again, there's no shot clock for either team to work with this time. And we're going to get a foul call against the Saints. Ainsley Cook playing tight defense on Schmeiler. She drove in. They got her for the contact, and it's another foul. That'll be Ainsley Cook's first personal foul. And Jenna Schmeiler back to the free throw line. The first free throw is up, and this one's good. Schmeiler's second free throw coming up next to give Hayes High a 6-point lead, and she does that. Saints will go into 2-point range as Sophia Kalovich gets it, then brings it back out, and the layup for Addison Sabers is no good. And Hayes High gets the rebound from Molly Buckles. Saints have yet to hit a shot from the field in this second quarter. They went 3 for 8 in the first quarter and have missed 5 shots in this quarter. Schmeiler with it now, 5 seconds remaining. She'll drive in and try a fadeaway shot and be called for a travel with 4.5 seconds remaining in the quarter. And Hayes High going back on defense for these final seconds. And we'll remind you to stick around for the halftime show here in a little bit. We'll take a look back at the first half and also take a look at some stats as well and some other scores around the state. Layla Boylan going up the floor. She'll stop at the free throw line, try the floater at the buzzer, and it's good. So it's as she hits the shot at the buzzer, that'll take us to halftime. The score, Hayes High 23, St. Thomas Aquinas 19. And we'll have our halftime show when we come back. We will take a look at how the game has unfolded so far and also take a look at our individual and team numbers. We'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Back here at White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas on the halftime show as Hayes High leads Aquinas 23-19 in the first game of the 5A state basketball tournament. And we'll now take a look at our recap of the first half. It was a quick start for Aquinas as they got the first 4 points, both of which were baskets from Layla Boylan. And Hayes High would get their first points from Katie Limber, but that would follow with a 6-0 run for the Saints as they took a 10-2 lead. But then Hayes High would hit a three-pointer from Zoe Winter on the right wing to conclude the first quarter to make it a 10-5 game. But that's where the run would begin, as Hayes High would follow that with 8 more points to take their first lead of the game. And Hayes High eventually took a 17-12 lead after the Saints only got 2 free throws after that. And Hayes High extended their lead to 21-13 later on as they got 3 straight, or after they got 16 points, excuse me. Their next 5 points would all come off of free throws to take a 21-13 lead. And for the Saints, it'd be the same thing, as they got 4 points from free throws, all of which came from Layla Boylan. And Hayes High had 2 free throws at the end of the half from Jenna Schmeidler to take a 23-17 lead. And the half concluded with a buzzer beater shot from Layla Boylan, who is leading the St. Thomas Aquinas Saints in scoring at the break. So it's 23-19 here at halftime, and we will take a look at our individual and team numbers when we come back. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Back here in Emporia, Kansas on the halftime show as part of the 5A State Basketball Championship as Hayes High leads St. Thomas Aquinas 23-19 at the halftime break. And we'll now take a look at our individual and team numbers. And we'll start off with Hayes High scoring, led by Molly Martin, who has 10 points in the first half. And right behind her, Jenna Schmeidler finished with 7. Both Zoe Winter and Kay Lindbergh had 3 points, and rounding out with just 1 is Molly Buckles. The leading scorer for the Saints with 14 is Layla Boylan. Behind her, Ainsley Cook has 2 points, both off of free throws, and Sophia Kalovich has 2 points as well. And with 1 point is Alex Kraus. For Hayes High's rebounding, their leader in that category right now is Molly Buckles, who has 4, and Zoe Winter's right behind her with 3. Katie Lindbergh has 2 as well. And for Hayes High's in the assist category for Hayes High, it's led by Jenna Schmeidler, who has 2. As Hayes High finished with 4 in that first half. And also getting the assists were Kenley Winter as well as Riley Dreher. The steals leader for Hayes High is Zoe Winter and Jenna Schmeidler, who each have 2. And also getting a steal was Kenley Winter. And Hayes High did not finish with any blocks in that first half. And looking over at the Saints, the leader in rebounds is Sophia Kalovich, who had 6. Behind her, Nora Goodnow finished with 4, and Addison Sabers had 2. In the steals category for the Saints, both Addison Sabers and Ainsley Cook had a steal. And then they had 2 blocks in that in the first half, with one of them coming from Sophia Kalovich and the other coming from Nora Goodnow. Now looking at our team numbers here at the halftime break, starting off with Hayes High. They went 6 for 26 from the field and 3 for 11 from three-point range. And they also went 8 for 10 at the free throw line, getting 17 rebounds, as well as 5 assists and 5 steals. And for the Saints, they went 4 for 15 from the field, going 0 for 1 from three-point range, and they shot 14 free throws in that first half, making 11 of them. And they finished with 15 rebounds, as well as a block and 3 steals. So that'll do it for our halftime show. We'll have the second half when we come back. This is Ace High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here at White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas, as part of the 5A State Basketball Championship as we get set for the second half with Hayes High in front of St. Thomas Aquinas 23-19. And Hayes High will start with the ball to start the second half after a big second quarter where they doubled the scoring for the Saints as St. Thomas Aquinas led 10-5 at the end of the first quarter, and Hayes High scores 18 points in the second quarter compared to St. Thomas Aquinas' 9 to hold a 4-point advantage going into the second half. Kenley Winter will inbound it to Jenna Schmeiler. She'll bring up the floor. Hayes High going from left to right. She'll angle towards the left wing, dribbling in place, waiting for someone to come up for the ball. She'll take some steps back and a bounce pass over to Kenley Winter, and it's stolen by the Saints. Layla Boylan, she'll go to the other end. No one around her. Has the shot blocked by Kenley Winter, then missed the putback, and Jenna Schmeiler has the rebound. What an effort there by Kenley Winter, able to track it down and put Hayes High back on offense. Kenley Winter will get the pass now from Jenna Schmeiler, looking into the left corner. Molly Martin, three-pointer on the way. Bingo! 13 points for Molly Martin as she gets the first points of the second half. Yeah, we're going to get a whistle as Hayes High deflected the ball out of bounds. And it will stay with the Saints. Inbounding it will be Layla Boylan, being guarded by Jenna Schmeidler. It will be a lob into Sophia Kalovich, guarded by Zoe Winter, and then Boylan gets it back, driving to the basket past Katie Lindberger, misses the layup. The rebound still loose, and it will be recovered, or will go out of bounds, and it was last touched by Addison Sabers. And it will be Hayes High ball. Jenna Schmeiler gets the call from head coach Lynn Melvin. Waiting for the offense to set up. Standing in the backcourt, she'll now go towards the right wing. Stops, goes cross-court pass over to Martin. Now she'll drive from the left wing all the way to the basket with the left hand. The layup's no good, but it's going to be a foul against the Saints. This is against number 22, Ainsley Cook. That was her second personal foul and the first team foul of the second half. Molly Martin will go back to the free throw line. Hayes High's leading scorer so far with 13. And the first free throw rattles out. Martin will get set for the second free throw. She's a 69% free throw shooter this season. 12th free throw of the game for Hayes High is good. With it now is Layla Boylan. She'll go cross-court pass now. Alex Krause for three, and this one's good. That's the first made three-pointer of the game for the Saints. And now Molly Martin with it, gives it over to Kay Lindenberg after driving in. She missed the layup, and it's rebounded by Sophia Kalovich. And we're going to get a foul call against Hayes High. This will be against Katie Lindenberg, and that'll be her third foul. And now Molly Buckles will return to the game in Lindenberger's place. Lindenberger will exit with 3 points and 2 rebounds so far in tonight's game. Now Hayes High back on defense as the Saints trying to get something going after they just hit their first three-pointer of the game. Jenna Schmeidler fell to the floor as Addison Sabers ran by her, and she'll miss the layup, but she was fouled on the way up. Zoe Winter came in on the defense. But they're going to say that this one will go against Molly Martin. Molly Martin was nowhere near the basket, though. They're going to say that this one is on the floor. Lynn Melvin can't believe that this was called against Martin because that's now her third foul. Everyone thought it was against Zoe Winter because she was guarding the one that went up for the layup, but they're going to say that the foul is on the floor. So it goes into Sophia Kalovich, and she gets called for the travel on the right baseline after she got the pass. Zoe Winter will inbound it to Jenna Schmeidler, will pump fake it to Schmeidler, and then gives it in to Riley Dreher. And now Jenna Schmeidler will take it. She'll cross the 10-second timeline. Waiting for the offense to set up. At the top of the arc, she'll give it over to Zoe Winter. And then Schmeidler gets it back. She'll drive in, will stop, come back out, and we'll kick it over to Riley Dreher. Drives in. Schmeidler will take it once again. Into Molly Buckles. Back out. Zoe Winter, top of the arc three, on the way. Rattles out and rebounded by Layla Boylan. And Riley Dreher deflects the pass at the other end. It was intended for Addison Sabers, but it will stay with the Saints as Riley Dreher was the one that last touched it, deflecting it out of bounds. And we're also getting a substitution as Addison Sabers will exit the game. Nora Good now is back into the game for the Saints. Had 4 rebounds in the first half. As pass goes into Alex Krause, she'll try the fadeaway shot off the backboard. It's good. 6 points for Alex Krause if she gets back-to-back buckets. And the Hayes High lead has been cut down now to 3, and we're going to get a timeout called by Lynn Melvin and the Lady Indians. With 5:28 remaining here in the third quarter, we're going to take a timeout. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking in time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Back here in Emporia, Kansas with 5:28 remaining in the third quarter. Hayes High back on offense in a very competitive game as they lead 27-24. If you just showed up to this game and you didn't know what the seeding was, you would not guess that this is a 1 seed versus an 8 seed. These two teams have played very competitively all day as Hayes High is on offense. And Riley Dreher will get called for the travel after she drove in. She jump stepped and then lost her balance, but she threw it away, but they called the whistle before that. The Saints have cut into this Hayes High lead. They led 27-19 at the start of this third quarter, and they've scored the last 5 points. As with it now is Sophia Kalovich. She'll drive in on a triple team, then dish it over to Nora Good now, and she has the layup. A 7-0 run for the Saints as Hayes High looks for a basket here on offense. Jenna Schmeidler, she'll try the pull-up jumper. It's no good. Zoe Winter gets the rebound as she runs up and will try the basket. That's no good. And Molly Buckles will get the rebound, and it's a foul call against the Saints. This one will go against Nora Goodnow. That will be her third personal foul of the game, and they'll make a substitution. They'll keep Goodnow in the game. Ainsley Cook will come out, and Layla Boylan will return. Ace high in the box formation on the left side of the basket. Schmeidler gets a bounce pass into Riley Dreher. She'll get it back out to Schmeidler as she drives in, and we'll come back out after stopping at the free throw line. And the pass was deflected out of bounds by Sophia Kalovich as it goes out in front of the Hayes High bench. And another substitution for the Saints. Addison Sabers back into the game. Nora Goodnow will exit with the 3 fouls. Kenley Winter will be the one inbounding it. Zoe Winter will get the screen, and Jenna Schmeidler will receive the inbound. At the top of the arc, she'll try the three-pointer from the top of the arc. It's no good, but she gets the rebound, her third of the night, as she comes back out with the ball. Now she'll drive in and kick it in the left corner. Kenley Winter pump fakes the three-pointer, spinning around, finally dribbles, and then picks it up, and now gives it into Riley Dreher. Schmeidler takes it back out. Hayes High slowing the pace down now. Cross-court pass over to Zoe Winter. She'll drive in, backing down her defender, and the layup, no good. And rebounded by the Saints, Addison Sabers. And it's a foul call against Hayes High. This one will be against Molly Buckles. And that will be the third team foul for Hayes High of this third quarter. That's Molly Buckles' first. It's a 7-0 run for St. Thomas Aquinas. And now they have a chance to take the lead on this possession. With it now, Boylan throws it into Kalovich. Back out to Novacek, and then Boylan gets it back. Cross-court pass to Alex Krause on the left wing. She'll drive in against Kenley Winter, and the layup is no good, but she was fouled on the way up. There'll be 2 free throws coming up for the Saints. This one will be against Kenley Winter. This will be the Saints' first 2 free throws of this third quarter. They've gone 11 for 14 so far from the free throw line in this game. And the first free throw for Alex Krause is good. And Hayes High will make a substitution. Molly Martin and Katie Lindbergh are back into the game in place of Riley Dreher and Molly Buckles. And Krause will attempt her second free throw. This one would give the Saints the lead. Something they haven't had since the beginning of the second quarter, and the free throw is good. Kenley Winter gets the pass on the right wing, gets a screen from Katie Lindbergh, and now will stop looking around into the left corner now for Jenna Schmeidler. She'll go with the baseline drive, come back out. Working back out, she'll wait for the offense to set up. Had a screen from Zoe Winter, and the pass gets deflected, and it's stolen by Alex Krause. And there's going to be a whistle and a foul call against Hayes High. It doesn't look like there was a Hayes High player that tripped Krause. It looked like she kind of just lost her footing, but this is going to go against Zoe Winter. And Hayes High, with 5 fouls now, puts the Saints in the bonus. Another turnover for Hayes High. That is their 11th turnover of this game. And a slow start to this third quarter, as they are 1 for 7 from the field. And Alex Krause hit the first free throw. 9 points so far for her in this game. And the second free throw is good as well. Krause becomes the second Saint into double figures as they extend their lead to 3. Now Jenna Schmeidler driving in, gives it back out to Zoe Winter at the top of the arc. Over to Molly Martin. She'll get a screen from Winter, driving all the way to the basket on the right side, tries the layup, and it's good! And 1! Molly Martin saw the lane and took it in with the right-handed layup, and they're going to get the foul against the Saints. We'll see who it's called against number 24, Sophia Kalovich. A huge shot there as Molly Martin matches what she had against Hutchinson with 16. With 3:13 remaining in the third quarter, this one to tie it at 30. The free throw is up and it bounces out, rebounded by Alex Krause. Layla Boylan with it now. Jenna Schmeidler on the defense, throws it into the right wing for Sabers. She'll now drive against Lindenberger, and it's another foul call against Hayes High. Katie Lindenberger can't believe it. She was on the defense. It wasn't really that tight, but they're going to call her for her 4th personal foul of the game. And that'll send the Saints back to the free throw line with Addison Sabers. Looking for her first points of the game, and she misses the first free throw off the front of the rim. Hayes High will make the substitution, taking Kay Lindbergh out of the game as she has 4 fouls, and Molly Buckles returns. And the second free throw for Sabres is up, and this one's good. Jenna Schmeidler with it now, looking towards the Hayes High bench to get the play call. Looks one way, now will drive in at the free throw line, working back out. Goes towards the left wing and hands it off to Molly Martin. She pump fakes the three-pointer, being guarded by Alex Krause. She drives to the basket, tries the floater off the backboard, and it's in. 18 points for Molly Martin, and we are tied back up at 31. Boylan gives it over to Krause, being guarded by Kinley Winter, has a drive to the basket. 4 players in the paint for Hayes High, and then Kalovich gets the layup to go. Alex Krause's first assist of the game. And now Jenna Schmeidler, three-pointer is good. Hayes High back in front with 2:12 remaining in the third quarter. And Jenna Schmeidler, 10 points to another Hayes High player in the double figures. And now a long three-pointer from the Saints is no good, and Zoe Winter gets the rebound. Alex Krause pulled up from long college range and couldn't get it to go. 1:50 to go in the third quarter. Jenna Schmeidler with it, driving in, kicks it out to Molly Martin. Thought about trying the three-pointer, drives in from the left wing to the basket, triple teamed underneath, and the layup is no good, but it's going to be another foul call against Hayes High. And actually, no, they're going to say that it's a little confusing based on crowd reactions. This is going to go against Zoe Winter. This will go against Zoe Winter. That's her 4th personal foul.
Attention.
So the Saints going back to the free throw line. It'll be Sophia Kalovich at the free throw line with 1:42 remaining here in the third quarter. And she misses the free throw out the back iron. So Kalovich back to the line for her second free throw. We apologize for the timeout, had some technical difficulties, but Jenna Schmeidler with it now for Hayes High. Kicks it over to Kinley Winter. Now going onto the right block, Molly Buckles tries the hook shot underneath the basket. It's no good, and Kalovich has the rebound. The Saints will bring it back out. Addison Sabers with it, gives it to Alex Krause, and then into the paint now is Sophia Kalovich, and she gets the layup to go. The two teams going back and forth, 36 for the Saints, 34 for the Indians, and we're going to get a steal. And at the other end, Layla Boylan will go to the other end and get the layup on the fast break as she also gets her second steal. Hayes High fans wanted a foul call there as Annie Humphrey fell to the floor off the steal. But with 44 seconds left here in the third quarter, Hayes High's going to go back on offense as Riley Dreher drives in, kicks it into the right corner. Now Kinley Winter driving to the basket, stops in the paint, goes back out to Schmeidler at the top of the arc, and she'll drive to the basket. Left-handed layup is up and good. "12 points for Jenna Schmeidler, and now the shot no good from the Saints. Sophia Kalovich couldn't get it, and Molly Buckles comes down with the rebound. At the other end, Schmeidler over to Humphrey. She'll try the jump shot. It's up, takes a couple bounces, and rattles in. Tie game with 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Annie Humphrey gets her first points of the game, and Jenna Schmeidler will get the assist. With 3 seconds remaining, the Saints drive. Boylan tries the shot. It's no good as it bounces off the back iron, and it's tipped out, and that will take us to the end of the third quarter. tied up at 38 with a spot in the Final Four on the line. What a game this has been so far. We'll have the final 8 minutes for you when we come back. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team and Tribe Broadcasting.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Back here in Emporia, Kansas, as we go into the final quarter, tied at 38. What a game it has been so far. The Saints will be the ones starting off on offense, going from right to left. Ainsley Cook will inbound it in front of the Hayes High student section. It is all maroon and gold here in the building tonight on the opposite end of the floor. As the pass goes over to Ainsley Cook from Boylan. And then it's they lose the ball as Addison Sabres will throw it over to Boylan, and it's rebounded by Riley Dreher. Jenna Schmeiler with it, gives it over to Molly Martin. Left wing three on the way. Takes one bounce and goes out. And it's still loose on the ground, and it's rebounded by Layla Boylan. At the other end, Boylan throws it up to Ainsley Cook, and it's blocked. Riley Dreher chases it down and blocks it underneath the basket, denying the layup. Her fourth block of the season, and we're going to get a substitution as Katie Limber comes out of the game. Cook will inbound it. The Saints will put 4 at the free throw line. As goes out, Kraus three-pointer on the way, takes a rattle and then goes in. Riley Dreher with it now for Hayes High as they trail by 3. It goes into the paint for Molly Buckles between her, goes right through her hands, and it will go back to the Saints. Layla Boylan will bring it up the floor off the inbound from Sophia Kalovich. Jenna Schmeiler will be in the backcourt playing the defense. It will go over to Sabres. Cross-court pass to Cook. Guarded by Martin, looking around. Will dribble over, and Kraus will take it now. She'll go into the paint, gets triple teamed, loses the ball. It's on the ground. Diving for it is number 33, Addison Sabres, and we're going to get a timeout called by the Saints as head coach Rick Hetzel stepped in. And this will be a 30-second timeout, but we'll step away as the two teams talk things over. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Back here at White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas, with 6:53 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The Saints lead at 41-38, and they're back on offense as they get set to inbound it underneath the basket on the right side. Ainsley Cook looking, gives it in, and the layup for Addison Sabres, no good. Alex Kraus gets it back, and it gets tipped around. Ainsley Cook comes out with it, then she gets it right back. 3 straight missed shots by the Saints, but they're able to recollect and get the rebounds. With it now is Cook in the right wing. She'll go one way and then to the left. She'll stop, bringing it back out. Guarded by Molly Martin. Kicks it over to Layla Boylan. Guarded by Jenna Schmeiler. Gets the screen from Kalovich. She'll drive in, try the layup, and it bounces out. But it's rebounded once again by the Saints. Kalovich got it. And we get a whistle and a jump ball, and the arrow is facing in Hayes High's direction. And Hayes High will make a substitution as Katie Lindenberger and Zoe Winter will return to the game. Hayes High needing a big possession right here, trailing by 3. Whoever wins this fourth quarter will win the game, as it was tied at 38 after the third quarter. Kenley Winter within the right wing goes into the paint. Zoe Winter tries the layup, no foul called as Kalovich goes to the floor, and then we get a whistle and a travel call. Zoe Winter lost her balance, and a lot of Hayes High fans wanted the travel, but as Kalovich got the rebound, she fell to the floor and got called for the travel. So Hayes High with another chance to score in the box formation on the inbound. The pass goes into Katie Lindbergh, kicks it over. Now Zoe Winter will take it and give it back out to Schmeidler. She'll go towards the left wing, waiting for an opening. She'll drive all the way to the basket with the left-handed layup, and it goes off the glass and in. 14 points for Jenna Schmeidler, and it's a one-point game. Kalovich with it now, kicks it over to Boylan. Into the paint now is Addison Sabers. Alex Krause tightly guarded by Kenley Winter. She'll drive all the way to the basket. Will try a shot, and they'll say it's on the floor, and it's going to be a foul against Kenley Winter. Hayes High playing aggressive defense, but is just getting called for the fouls every time now, as that's now Winter's third foul. And Hayes High will make a substitution as Riley Dreher will go back into the game. So it's another inbound here for the Saints as the first foul of this quarter was called on Hayes High. Pass will go into Kalovich. She'll try the layup. It's no good, and Zoe Winter will come down with the rebound. Jenna Schmeidler to the other end of the floor. Stops and comes back out from three-point range on the left wing. Drives into the basket all the way, and off the hand, it was in. Jenna Schmeidler found the opening, took it to the basket, and Hayes High's got the lead back with 5:18 left in the fourth quarter. Boylan is guarded by Schmeidler. To pick up her dribble, has it deflected, but she's able to get it back, and she'll drive into the paint. We'll try the floaters. Molly Martin came in on the defense, and she gets it to go. Layla Boylan, a very talented player for this Saints team, leads in scoring with 18. Has 8 Division I offers. Now Jenna Schmeidler, three-pointer, nylon! Hayes High back in front. Jenna Schmeidler gets the 3. It is just going back and forth now as Hayes High's got the 2-point lead with 4:40 remaining. Kalovich with the drive, kicks it into the right corner. Three-pointer on the way from Alex Krause is good. Hayes High back on offense, and now we're going to get a foul call against the Saints. Alex Krause got screened by Zoe Winter and then put her hand in the way of Jenna Schmeidler. She was running past her, and she'll get called for the foul. And we'll get a substitution from the Saints. Reagan Novacek back in, and Kenley Winter back in for Hayes High as well. Hayes High's got the starters of Zoe Winter, Kenley Winter, Katie Lindenberger, Molly Martin, and Jenna Schmeidler on the floor. Trying to pull through in this one. Schmeidler looks towards the bench, going towards the left wing. Now will stop and just walk back out. Waits for the screen from Zoe Winter. Doesn't use it. Instead, she'll go to the left side. Molly Martin will take it now. Goes to the free throw line, gives it back out to Zoe Winter. She'll drive all the way to the basket on the left side. We'll try the layup, and it's good, but they're going to say it's a travel against Hayes High. Zoe Winter had the shot underneath the basket, but they're going to call her for the foul. And that will be the 14th Hayes High turnover in this game. Ainsley Cook will give it over to Reagan Novacek. And then Cook gets it back. Gets a screen now from Kalovich. Zoe Winter on the defense. And then Cook will throw it into the right corner for Novacek. Molly Martin tried stealing the ball as Novacek stands in place, waits for someone to pass it to, then gives it to Addison Sabers. Cook with it again. Gets a screen, comes back out. A little bit of miscommunication on defense there for Hayes High, but Novacek has it on the right wing. Molly Martin guarding her. She'll drive to the basket, gets pushed off with the arm, and that's going to be a charge foul against the Saints. Reagan Novacek pushed Molly Martin to the floor, and it's the second team foul for the Saints. For the Saints, that is now their 16th turnover in the game. And in a one-point game, Hayes High will go back on offense. Jenna Schmeiler will cross midcourt. Waiting for the offense to set up. Dribbles between her legs. Now will go into the paint. She'll try it with the left hand. It's no good. And rebounded by Alex Krause. Ainsley Cook will bring it up the floor for the Saints. 3:14 remaining here in the game. The pass goes over to Addison Sabers. Looking, gives it back out to Sophia Kalovich. And we're going to get a whistle and a travel against the Saints as they drove into the paint. They threw it out, and the travel was called. Molly Buckles back in for Hayes High. And for the Saints, they'll bring their star player, Layla Boylan, back in place of Reagan Novacek. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an eventful final 3 minutes and 8 seconds to this game. That's as tough as it gets. They both played extremely well, but only one team can move on and play 2 more games. Molly Martin with it on the left wing. She'll drive in, give it out over to Kay Lindbergh. She'll take one dribble on the right block, spinning, gives it back out to Kenley Winter. Martin will take it, waits for the offense, and now will drive in, back out to Kenley Winter. Then Jenna Schmeiler will take it. And she'll come back out as she's tried driving in. And Schmeiler just waiting in the backcourt for someone to get open. She'll try driving in, will come back out once again. And thought about trying the pull-up three-pointer. Instead gives it to Kenley Winter on the left wing. And a timeout called by Hayes High with 2:26 remaining here in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a timeout as the two teams talk things over. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Back here at White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas, with 2:26 remaining here in the fourth quarter in the very first game of the Acacia 5A State Basketball Championship. It's the Saints 46, Indians 45. And Hayes High will be on offense trying to get the lead back. Both teams have traded the lead at some point in this quarter. Hayes High had the 42-41 lead. The Saints respond with a bucket. Then Hayes High responds with a three-pointer to go up 45-43. And the Saints just hit that last three-pointer from Alex Krause to hold the one-point advantage. Schmeiler will take it up the floor. She'll angle into the right side, kick it out to Molly Buckles. Now Molly Martin, three-pointer is on the way, and it's good! Three-pointer for Molly Martin gives Hayes High the 2-point lead, and she's got 21. And St. Thomas Aquinas just got a bucket to go. Not sure who made it, but Hayes High with it now. Jenna Schmeiler with it. 1:54 remaining here in the fourth quarter. She'll drive in, and Alex Krause dives in. No foul called, but the Saints will go back on offense. And then Kenley Winter pokes it free from Ainsley Cook. 48-48, 1:38 to go. Jenna Schmeiler with it on the left wing. Waits for a screen from Molly Buckles, then comes back out. Now she'll use the screen, driving in off the left baseline to the basket. Loses the ball. No foul called once again. Addison Sabers gets the steal. Hayes High fans in disbelief that there wasn't one called. Ainsley Cook with it now into the final 80 seconds of this game. She'll go to the left wing, and we're going to get a timeout called by the Saints. We're going to take another timeout after the timeout called by Rick Hetzel. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
The key to a great game is sportsmanship. It is essential to show respect to your opponents, teammates, coaches, and yourself. Playing hard, being fair, and having fun is what sportsmanship is all about. Whether you win or lose, congratulate your team and opponents for their hard work and dedication. Good sportsmanship is about demonstrating integrity, fairness, and respect. Let's show the world what true sportsmanship is all about. A message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team in Tribe Broadcasting.
Back here at White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas, with 1:16 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The score is Hayes High 48, St. Thomas Aquinas 48 as well. It has been a very competitive game so far. Both teams are led by certain players that have put them in this position. Hayes High is led by Molly Martin and Jenna Schmadler, who have scored 40 of Hayes High's 48 points. And for Aquinas, with 18 points each, Alex Krause and Layla Boylan, they've scored 36 of the Saints' 48 points. We'll see which teams has the players to rise up in this moment. It'll be St. Thomas Aquinas ball scoring to the left of us. The inbound will come from Ainsley Cook as we wait for Hayes High to come out of the timeout. On the floor for the Saints is Ainsley Cook, as well as Alex Krause, and then Addison Sabers, Layla Boylan, and then rounding it out is Sophia Kalovich. Hayes High will put Kenley Winter, Jenna Schmadler, Katie Lindenberger, Zoe Winter, and Molly Martin on the floor. Ainsley Cook gives it in to Boylan. She'll be guarded by Molly Martin. At the left wing, she kicks it over to Krause. Now she'll drive in, being guarded by Jenna Schmadler, spinning her way to the basket, stops in the paint, spinning around, gives it back out to Ainsley Cook. She'll dribble over to the left wing, guarded by Kenley Winter. Now she'll drive in, get double teamed by both winners, and it gets tipped up in the air as Layla Boylan gets it back. She gives it over to Ainsley Cook. And Alex Krause will take it now. Standing on the right wing, hands it off to Cook. Now Krause driving to the basket, being guarded by Schmadler. Muscling her way to the basket, and the layup is good by Alex Krause. .35 seconds remaining. Hayes High with it now. Jenna Schmadler spinning past Krause, and now Martin will take it. Driving to the basket. Left-handed layup is up. Takes one bounce and goes out. And it's rebounded by the Saints, but then Hayes High gets it back, and the layup no good. The Saints come out with it. Addison Sabers. And with it now is Ainsley Cook. As she trips to the floor, it'll be a foul call against Hayes High with 17 seconds remaining. That'll be Hayes High's third team foul. And another timeout called by Hayes High. 17.4 seconds on the clock, and St. Thomas Aquinas leads 50-48. Hayes High needing some help on defense right here. It looks like Kinsley Newell's about to check into the game. And this has been a very tough fourth quarter. It was 38-38, so like we said earlier, whoever won the fourth quarter is going to win this game. St. Thomas Aquinas opened with a three-pointer from Alex Krause, and then Hayes High responded to take the lead with back-to-back baskets, both coming from Jenna Schmadler. Then Layla Boylan responds once again for the Saints to give them a 43-42 lead. Jenna Schmadler hits another three-pointer. Another one follows immediately after for the Saints as they go back in front. Hayes High hits a Molly Martin three-pointer to make it 48-46, and the Saints have hit the last two baskets from the field, with both those coming from Alex Krause, as they will have the ball with 17 seconds remaining. This is going to be a very tough finish. But Hayes High, they have not been in this situation very much. Only 3 of their games have been decided by single digits, and only 1 of them has been decided by 1 possession. That was the win in overtime against Wellington in the Colby Orange and Black tournament. But for Aquinas, they've kind of been in this situation before. They were 4-4 in games decided by single digits, and also 1-2 in games decided by a single possession. It'll be St. Thomas Aquinas ball, up by 2 with 17 seconds to go. Ainsley Cook will once again be the one inbounding it at the opposite end of the floor. They'll put 4 at the free throw line. And Layla Boylan is open, and she'll get the pass and be fouled by Kinsley Newell. That'll be Hayes High's 3rd foul, so they still got 2 more to give to send the Saints to the free throw line. This one will go against Kinsley Newell for her first of the night. It'll be Ainsley Cook inbounding under the basket, looking for someone to pass it to. And a Hayes High player fell to the floor as Alex Krause got the pass, and she's fouled by Kenley Winter. 1 more foul to give, and then Hayes High will send the Saints to the free throw line. This one will go against Kenley Winter. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Saints. And this time we will step away as the 2 teams talk things over. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
If you wanted to shred like that guy, then you should come join Hayes High's very own guitar club. If you are interested, come hang out with us every Monday and Wednesday from 3:05 to 4:30 at room 116 with Mr. Prophet. We hope to see you there, and remember, practice till your fingers bleed.
Back here at White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas, with 14.2 left on the clock. The Saints lead Hayes High 50-48 with a spot in the Final Four on the line. And St. Thomas Aquinas will have the ball, so Hayes High with one foul to give to send them to the free throw line. Question is, though, for Hayes High, who do you foul in this situation? Addison Sabers would likely be the one that Hayes High will go after. She's missed 3 free throws so far in this game. Or correction, she's missed 2 free throws in this game. And the pass will go into to Alex Krause. That is the last one you'd want to foul for Hayes High. She leads the Saints in scoring so far with 20. 2 free throws would ice the game. 1 would mean all Hayes High can do is tie it. But Krause will go to the free throw line. And we'll see. And actually, Kenley Winter just fouled out of the game for Hayes High. That was her 5th foul. And Alex Krause will go to the free throw line for the Saints. The first free throw for either team in this 4th quarter. This is who Hayes High will go with on the floor as they get set to go back on offense here in a little bit. Molly Martin, Zoe Winter, Katie Limberter, Riley Dreher, and Jenna Schmeidler. Alex Krause at the free throw line has 20 points so far. And her first free throw is up. And it takes a bounce off the back iron, and it's no good. So Hayes High has a chance here in a little bit if they can get this offensive rebound. Krause will get set for her second free throw to make it a 3-point lead for the Saints. It is up, and it's good. 21 points is the lead, and it's stolen by the Saints and rebounded by Hayes High. At the other end, we'll get a whistle and a timeout call by Hayes High with 7 seconds to go. Disaster avoided. The Saints got a steal at the other end of the floor off of the inbound, but missed the layup. And Hayes High will be back on offense to try and tie it up here in the final 7 seconds, trailing by 3. And we'll take a timeout real quickly. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking in time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure.
Back here at White Auditorium with 7 seconds to go in the game. The Saints up by 3, and Hayes High has one more chance to try and send it to overtime. Riley Dreher will be the one inbounding it. Looking for Molly Martin. Can't throw it in. They'll go cross-court pass over to Jenna Schmeidler. She'll try a three-pointer. It's on the way. It's no good. It's an air ball throw back out with 1 second to go. This one will go out of bounds, and it will stay with the Saints. Hayes High lost it out of bounds. Riley Dreher tried throwing it back out to three-point range. And with 1 second to go, the Saints just have to get it in, and that should wrap it up. But we're going to get a timeout call before that. 0.8 seconds is what it reads on the clock. Hayes High just couldn't get the open look as Riley Dreher got the offensive rebound, threw it back out, and then there was no one there to field it. Saints have scored the last 5 points in the game after Hayes High had that 48-46 lead off the three-pointer from Molly Martin. Now they need a steal here in the final second for any hope of keeping this game alive. We'll see who Hayes High decides to go with on the floor. Jenna Schmeidler has 2 steals so far and has 19 points for Hayes High. And Molly Martin is the Hayes High's leading scorer with 21. Kenley Winter has fouled out. She also had 2 steals for Hayes High. They'll keep Zoe Winter on the floor as well. She has 2 steals. So we'll see if Hayes High can pull through and keep their dream a reality. It'll be Sophia Kalovich inbounding it. There's two players for the Saints on the other end of the floor. Kalovich will inbound it. And it'll be a baseball pass into Riley Dreher. She'll try the half-court shot at the buzzer, and it's no good, off to the left side, and that will do it. Hayes High couldn't get the shot to go, and the Saints will pull off the upset, defeating Hayes High by a final score of 51-48 as they improve to 16-7 on the year, and will play the winner of Spring Hill and Mace South tomorrow. And Hayes High will end their season with a record of 22-1. And we'll have our post-game show when we come back. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians.
Sportsmanship is more than shaking hands before and after games. It is striving for fair play, positive behavior, and respect towards your opponent. It can also highlight the character and integrity of an athlete whether they win or lose. Therefore, it allows an athlete to develop maturity, responsibility, and perseverance while maintaining a competitive spirit. Achieving good sportsmanship is shown not only on the field or court, but also how an athlete positively treats others in everyday life. This is Shalaya Inslee from Marion High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory.
Back here at White Auditorium on the postgame show as Hayes High falls in the state quarterfinals to Aquinas by a final score of 51-48. And we will now take a look at our recap of tonight's game. Aquinas got going early in that first quarter, taking a 10-2 lead. And then Hayes High hit a three-pointer at the end of the first quarter, which would be the start of an 11-0 run to take their first lead of the game. And in that second quarter, the two teams went back and forth throughout, but Hayes High jumped out to a 21-13 lead, but the Saints would score the next 4 points to cut the Hayes High lead to 4, and then Hayes High got the final 2 points of their final 2 points of the second quarter through 2 free throws, and Layla Boylan got a buzzer beater at the end of the first half to make the score Hayes High 23, Aquinas 19. And going into the third quarter, Hayes High got the first 2 points, or 4 points, as they got a three-pointer from Molly Martin, and she also had a free throw as well. And the Saints would go on an 11-0 run to take the lead back at 30-27. Hayes High would eventually tie that, getting 2 buckets to fall, both from Molly Martin at 31-31. And both teams hit another basket. For the Saints, it was a 2-pointer that came from Sophia Kalovich. For Hayes High, it was a 3-pointer from Jenna Schmeidler. And then Hayes High went on, Aquinas scored the next 5 points to go up by 4, but Hayes High would get 4 points of their own at the end of the third quarter to leave it tied at 38. And then the Saints jumped out to a 41-38 lead to start the fourth quarter. Hayes High would respond with 2 baskets from Jenna Schmeidler to take a 42-41 lead. And it just continued to be a back-and-forth fourth quarter as the Saints got a bucket from Layla Boylan to make it 43-42. Hayes High would hit a 3-pointer from Jenna Schmeidler to get the lead back. But the Saints would not let that last. On their very next possession, Alex Krause would hit a 3-pointer to go up 46-45. And Hayes High hit a 3-pointer, then hit another 3-pointer to take the lead back by Molly Martin. That would be Hayes High's final basket of the game. And the Saints score the final 5 points of the game as they pull through in the end, upsetting Hayes High by a final score of 51-48. We'll have our individual and team numbers for you when we come back. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network.
We all know how hard it is to play sports outside of work and school, but sometimes we forget that we're not the only ones that are taking in time outside of work and school for these sports. Coaches spend a lot of time outside of school at practices, games, and other team events to help every athlete succeed. They set things up before practice and stay after to help their athletes. So remember to thank your coaches for all the time and effort they put in to make your experience the best it can be. I'm Jeremy Winslow, and this was a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Attention drivers and passengers. Your safety is paramount. Buckling your seatbelt is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself on the road. In the event of a crash, seatbelts can reduce the risk of serious injury by up to 50%. So whether you're commuting to work or embarking on a long journey, make sure everyone in the vehicle is secure. Remember, seatbelts save lives. It's not just a good habit, it's the law. So click it or ticket.
Hello, everyone. This is Hank Corsair, your voice of Hayes High Athletics on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We want to thank you all for tuning in to today's game, and we also want to remind you that Tribe Broadcasting is your home for exclusive coverage of Hayes High Athletics with live video of games, team hype videos, features in the monthly news, and so much more. Plus, you can catch me throughout the year doing live play-by-play of varsity sports, including football, volleyball, and boys soccer in the fall, basketball and wrestling in the winter, and baseball, softball, and girls soccer in the spring. So keep it right here with the coverage of today's game, and go Indians. Back here at White Auditorium in Emporia, Kansas on the postgame show as St. Thomas Aquinas gets the win today by a final score of 51-48. We're now going to take a look at our final individual and team numbers. Starting off with Hayes High. Their leading scorer today was Molly Martin, finishing with 21 points, and Jenna Schmeiler was right behind her with 19. Both Zoe Winter and Katie Lindberger had 3 points. Annie Humphrey finished with 2, and then Molly Buckles had 1. And looking over at the Saints, their leading scorer today was Alex Krause, who had 21 points. Layla Boylan was right behind her with 18, and then Sophia Kalovich finished with 7 points. And both Nora Goodnow and Ainsley Cook had 2 points, and rounding it out is Addison Sabers with 1. And looking at Hayes High's other individual numbers, their leader in rebounds today was both Zoe Winter and Molly Buckles, each had 6 rebounds. Jenna Schmeiler had 3 rebounds as well, and Katie Lindberger finished with 2. Riley Greer also had 2 rebounds too. And looking at the assist category for Hayes High, they were led by Jenna Schmeiler with 3. There were 2 assists for Kenley Winter. And then rounding it out is Riley Dreher with 1. In the steals category, the leaders for Hayes High, Kenley Winter, Jenna Schmeiler, and Zoe Winter each had 2. And Hayes High had just 1 block in the game from Riley Dreher. And Kenley Winter actually had a block as well. So now we'll look at the Aquinas Saints. With their leading rebounder with 10, Sophia Kalovich finished as the leader in that category. Addison Sabers and Nora Goodnow each had 4, and Layla Boylan has had 4 as well. And rounding it out is Alex Krause with 3. The assist leader for the Saints was Sophia Kalovich with 2. Layla Boylan and Alex Krause also had an assist as well. Leading in the steals category was Addison Sabers and Layla Boylan and Alex Krause with 2. And the Saints also had 2 blocks, just like Hayes High, one of them coming from Sophia Kalovich and the other coming from Nora Goodnow. So that'll do it for our individual numbers. We'll now take a look at our final team numbers, as we'll see Hayes High finishing tonight going 16 for 50 from the field and 7 for 19 from three-point range and 9 for 13 at the free throw line. They had 29 rebounds as a team, and they had 8 assists as well as 2 blocks and 6 steals. For the Saints, they went 15 for 41 from the field and 3 for 5 from three-point range. And they also went 18 for 24 at the free throw line. They had 32 rebounds tonight, and they finished with 7 assists, a block, and 9 steals. So that'll do it for our coverage of tonight's game. Again, St. Thomas Aquinas wins it today by a final score of 51-48 to secure their spot in the Final Four against either number 4 Spring Hill or number 5 Maize South. And they improved to 16-7 on the year. And Hayes High will see their historic season come to an end at 22-1. But despite the result, they got nothing to hang their heads about. They did something that had never been done before. They got 22 wins in a season. They returned to state for the first time since 1996, and they gave Hayes High fans an incredible season with a lot of entertaining games and big wins. So that'll do it for our coverage of tonight's game, and we want to thank you all again for tuning in to the games this season. I'm Hank Corsair. This has been Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We will see you all next time, and we're saying good night from Emporia, Kansas.